Aloha. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you are enjoying your journey into aligning mind, body, and spirit. Yoga is, of course, one of my favorite tools. So I have about a 30-minute practice for you today, beginner friendly. Our constant aim is to practice being present in our distraction-laden society. It's so easy to numb ourselves or to tune out of what we're feeling. And this beautiful ancient practice of yoga reminds us it's what we're doing now that is most important. So your breath, right? Hopefully you've been doing some of the meditation practices with me. Breath is an anchoring tool to pull you back because it's normal, right? It's human of us to start creating a story and kind of drifting off into rabbit holes. So as often as we need to, we come back. So we can do that seated meditation, and we can also add these body practices that can help us, notice where we might be gripping and holding on to pockets of tension in our physicality as well. So let us begin in a comfortable seat today. I would say Sukhasana or crisscross applesauce for my teachers out there. And I always like to excess flesh wiggle it out, right? So just getting really anchored. There's bones that are in the bottom of your seat. I want you to take those bones and root down, right? Really affirm that, hey, this is where I am. This is who I am, and sit up tall. So feel free to take any organic movements that help you just to feel into your body. And when you feel like you've gotten out those wiggles and squirms, let your eyes fall closed. Closing your eyes is a good way to check in. Typically, it will bring a sensation for us, depending on the day and what's going on for you. It could feel relaxing, refreshing, or it could feel a little jarring, a little uncertain, maybe even vulnerable. Again, our aim is to always resist the urge to judge or manipulate how we think we should feel, and instead be right there with what is. There is no right, there is no wrong. We will all run through that full spectrum throughout the course of our lives. Your mission is just to be where you are, here and now. With that, pull your hands to your heart and let's set an intention for the practice. Now, presence is a simple concept, but what is simple is not necessarily easy. So be gracious with yourself as you navigate through our sweet flow today. And notice as many times as it's necessary that you've drifted off into distraction and come right back. Exhale all of your breath out. Take a really nourishing breath in, fill yourself up. Hold at the top, maybe take another little sip. Open, exhale, let it go. Awesome. Let your eyes open. Bring your palms by your sides. Shine your palms up. Continue to root down through your seat. Big inhale, stretch up and overhead. When you reach the top, interlace your fingers and flip your palms to the sky. Now melt your shoulders off your ears. Continue to draw up through the length of your spine and pull your fingers away from one another. Take a full inhale, stretch up. As you exhale, you'll take it up and over to the right. Now, rather than letting your hips fly off the floor, stay really securely anchored through both sides. And just notice the space between your ribs. Notice where there might be constriction, chin off your chest, and breathe. Inhale, find center. Exhale, take it up and over. Other side. So you always want to find that uplift, axial extension, pulling the crown of your head up, finding space between each and every bone of your back. And then you go for that side body opening. Good. Inhale, back through center. Now as you exhale, you're going to take your hands down to about eye level. Push your palms forward. Draw your chin to your chest. And then press the back of your heart towards the wall behind you. Now, one of my favorite things to do here is roll one ear to one shoulder and just take a sweet little massage from side to side. It's really common to grip and clench in the space. Right, that feeling like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders start to melt and dissolve some of that away. And melt your chin back to your chest, lift it to the horizon. With your next inhale, take your arms skyward. Exhale, big old circle. This time, hands will come behind your back and interlace your fingers. Now make a little basket grip by interlacing your palms. Then squeeze your shoulders together and down your back. Continue to push into your seat. Now peel your heart up and open. Lift your chest to the sky. Lift your chin to the sky and look up. And once again, this can invoke some different sensation, right? Here we are with our heart wide open, nothing to protect us, right? No shoulders to cower forward, no hands to cover up our sweet, delicate heart. So just notice how that feels for you. Be patient, breathe. And allow yourself to relax in the safety of being here with an open heart. One more breath. Awesome, my dears. And then carefully release the grip of your hands. Roll out your wrists a little bit. Give that a shake, a wiggle. Maybe flutter your lips. Let that out, let it out. We're gonna meet in tabletop. So come to all fours. You'll have your shoulders above your wrists, your hips on top of your knees. As you exhale, draw your navel to your spine. Again, we're not sucking the tummy in and getting rigid, but let there just be a little gentle awareness of that space. Now take your right leg long behind you. Keep your foot anchored down for now and just push through the ball mound of your back foot, driving your heel towards the back edge of your mat. Working through that back line of your right leg, maybe taking some rocks from front to back. Good. So now your left hand is going to plant under your left shoulder. You're going to roll open to a modified side plank. So your right arm is going to peel high. Stack your top hip. Stack your top shoulder, and then take some big circles, right? Move through the top arm, enjoying some spaciousness and expansion. Now continue to root down to the knife edge of your back foot. Let that be your anchor point so that you can really explore the sensation. Now, if you're feeling really good here, you might continue to just dance through and explore. If you want a little extra activation, you're gonna lift that back heel, flex your toes towards your shin, then wrap muscle to bone. So really engage this top thigh, squeeze into your top glute. Awesome. And breathe. You can stay with your gaze down. If that helps your neck, you can look out to the side. Or if you'd like a little extra balance challenge, maybe peek up towards your top thumb. Maybe even beyond it. And radiate your heart up and open. Last 3, breathe. 2. Awesome. And then carefully rewind. Good. Bring your foot down, carefully drape your hand down, and return to all fours, tabletop. Neutral. The other side, left leg back. Keep the ball mound of your foot anchored, take a little zhuzh from front to back. So this also helps you open up through the sole of your foot, right? All these energy channels that originate in the bottom of your feet can get awakened here. Now your right hand's gonna be the base. You'll inhale to a modified side plank. Left arm peels high. Beautiful. Back heel firmly roots into the floor, and then start your motion, right? So you can go one direction, the other. And it's your expression, right? So maybe peel the chest open. Maybe you find a really tender spot and you want to stay there for a couple rounds of breath, feel free. There is no one prescription of how things must look, right? We're all different. Now again, you can stay there, or if you'd like, you can go ahead and lift your back heel, pull your toes towards your shin. Imagine you're driving that heel through the opposite wall. Good, really squeeze tight, especially your quadricep, and firm that outer glute. Excellent. Now you can play with your gaze, maybe down, maybe to the side, maybe even up for that extra low balance challenge. You hug your navel to your spine. 3. Breathe. 2. Awesome. And then carefully rewind. Soften your foot to the floor. Drip your hand down. Be mindful of how you move between the shapes. And then find tabletop, all fours. Now curl your toes under you. Take a breath in. You're going to spread your fingers wide. You're going to come into a hovering tabletop. Lift your knees just a couple inches off the floor. Now your elbows are bent softly. So use the strength of your hands and find a little cat behind your heart. Feel the squeeze of your inner thighs. Full breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. You're more than welcome to bend your knees. Take a little swivel. Right, so down dog is not necessarily about having stick straight legs. The emphasis is on the length of your spine. So call to mind your favorite canine friend when they take that stretch, right? And that beautiful elongation, the tip of their tail up and back. So find that within yourself and know that bending your knees and or lifting your heels are both great ideas. Excellent. Now we're going to start to stoke up that center a little bit more. So from your down dog, I want you to think about a wave kind of undulating. So inhale to a high plank, glide shoulders over wrists. Think hip tips to bottom ribs. And then use the strength of your hands, pike your hips back with your belly, downward facing dog. Right, so it's a simple movement. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. But done correctly, can really target that midline activation we're looking for. Exhale, down dog. Good, one more time. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, now gaze forward. Excuse me, walk your feet towards your wrists. Keep your feet nice and wide. Soften up your knees, and then drip your belly over your thighs. Drop your head towards the floor. Take your elbow tips. That might feel best today. You can also experiment with hands behind the neck. Maybe even hands behind the back. So play around. What needs the most attention for you? And find some movement. Bobble your head, shake your torso. Look for those little sneaky hidden pockets of stress and start to shake them loose. Then you can relax your grip. Walk your feet in toward one another and take a really slow motion journey. Let everything hang heavy. Your arms dangle, your head dangles. You'll move up one bone at a time. Letting your chin stack last. Good. Maybe take a few rolls of your shoulders down your back. Feel free to adjust, right? I want you to be comfortable, feel steady and secure in your body. When you've found your sweet spot, bring your arms by your sides, anatomically neutral. Palms shine forward. Take a little peek down. Lift up your toes and fan them out wide. And just notice, right? Most of us tend to kind of lean off to one side, maybe spill weight to one hip. So I want you to play around these really almost imperceptible leans from front to back and side to side until you feel like you found that really solid center point where there's even activation through all four corners of both feet. And a little micro bend to your knees. I want you to think hip tips to bottom ribs. So there's a gentle hugging sensation here as you lengthen your tail towards your heels. And again, your collarbones are wide, your heart is open. And then maintain the integrity through your low body. Inhale, mountain pose. Just stretch your arms up to the sky. And if you glide your shoulders way up as that happens, just check back in, ease your shoulders off your ears. Continue to draw into your center. Breathe in. Good. With the exhale, sweet little back bend. So cactus, pull your arms. You'll glide your elbow tips forward as you pull your wrists back. And then hug your shoulders onto the back of your body to elevate your chest. Feel free to bend your knees. Gently sass your hips forward and keep your legs strong. Good. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. And exhale through your forward fold. You can trace your hands through your heart. And feel free to soften your knees, right? So nice long spine. Descend with control, hands down, head down. Relax your head when you arrive at the bottom. Maybe give it a little shake. Good. Now on the inhale, a halfway lift. So think tabletop through your spine. You can always use your legs as a bit of leverage, right? So I want you to pull your heart forward, pull the crown of your head forward, and feel your shoulders onto your back body, right? So if you had your favorite drink on your back, it would stay put. Breathe in. Good. Now we're going to be in a high plank. Plant your palms and step back. Shoulders stacked over wrists. Little micro bend to the elbows, just like that hovering tabletop. Taste of cat behind your heart. Remember, just like we did in Tadasana, hip tips to bottom ribs. Take a breath in. Good. On the exhale, just push back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Now we're going to flow through that. That doesn't mean we have to rush and try to move as quick as we can. It means we smooth out our breath, we slow it down, and give ourselves the time and space to move with grace. So from your down dog, inhale, eyes forward. As you exhale, you can step or maybe try a little hop, top edge of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, mountain pose, reach up, stand tall. Exhale, little back bend, cactus, pull the arms, sass your hips forward, hard up. Inhale, reach high, mountain. Exhale, forward fold, trace your hands down, use your belly as your brakes. No urgency. Relax your head at the bottom. Inhale to that halfway lift, reset the spine. Exhale, high plank. Take a moment. Feel that squeeze of your inner thighs. Breathe in. Exhale, push your hips high, downward facing dog. Good. Take a full breath in your down dog. Exhale, let it go. Let's move on. Inhale. Send your right leg high. Three-legged dog. Right toes up to the sky. Any amount. Now as you exhale, bend your knee and open up your top hip. Scorpion dog. So you're going to press evenly through your hands. You might roll out your ankle or maybe take big circles with your knee. It can feel a little funky and awkward, but it's really good to lubricate that hip joint. Now inhale, straight and strong. Exhale, bring your foot between your two hands, low lunge. Try to go heel, ball, toe. Good. Now as you inhale, we'll come up to a high crescent lunge. So feel free to pit stop at your hips. Now you can soften up this back knee. Same sensation. Hip tips to bottom ribs, tail lengthens down. Avoid impinging the low back. So that might mean softening your back knee more than you think you need to or really want to, and that's totally fine. Arms come up by your sides when you're ready. Good. Feel the strength of your lunge. Sink a little deeper into your leg. Breathe in. Exhale, fly it out. Flying crescent is what I call this one. So back heel lifts. Now you take that back leg super strong. Squeeze muscle to bone. Your belly is off your thigh. You're leaning your heart forward. And then wrap your pinkies towards one another and turn your triceps on. That's that top part in the back of your arm. You got it. Now on the inhale, reverse warrior. So take a big, beautiful opening. Continue to sink into your front lunge. Lift up and out of your waist, just like we did in our seated warm-up, and then high five whatever wall is behind you. You can track your left hand down your left leg. Some of you might take a little half bind and sneak it towards the top of your right thigh, or maybe just the small of your back. Take a breath in. Exhale, it's extended side angle. So hinge. Take your bottom arm towards the inside edge of your bottom thigh. Top arm to the sky. Now, any depth that comes is because you're sinking into your lunge. So keep your torso engaged, wrap your bottom ribs under, and find a little uplift through your top hand, as opposed to just trying to sink down and touch the floor. You see how I have no engagement in my tummy now? So it's okay to be a little higher, but be really integrated, right? Shoot, hug into the center. You got it. Now inhale is a big star pose. So heels in, toes out. Squeeze through the inner thighs. Take a full breath. I want you to illuminate the tips of your fingers. We'll drop into a horse squat. So bring your hips down. Feel free to take a little wiggle from side to side that can help encourage depth, and bring your hands to your heart. Lighten up the grip of your toes, melt your shoulders down your back. And just like we did at the start of practice, check in. Maybe even close your eyes. So I'm not saying you need to feel fantastic right now. This might be really intense. You might want to distract yourself. You might want to run away. And practice gives us this opportunity to confront that, right? And to make a really conscious choice and say, I'm gonna sit with this discomfort. I'm gonna trust in my strength and my resilience. And maybe I'll even lean into it by going deeper. Yeah, I'm right here with you. Breathe. Good. Now push down into your legs. Inhale, star pose. Nice work. As you exhale, tee your arms out, turn your toes forward, and we'll descend into a wide fold. This is a nice, sweet release for you. Hands down, head down. And you might take little micro bends to your knees. You can go from side to side. You can take your hands below your shoulders and maybe reach for the outside edges of your feet. Now, the wider your legs are in this pose, the more accessible it is, so bear that in mind. If it's really easy for you, challenge yourself and take your feet a little closer together. You got it. Now, as you inhale, find a nice long spine, halfway lift, and then crawl to a low lunge. Bend into your right knee. Use your belly to pick up your foot. Try not to scrape your foot. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna call it good. Breathe in. Stay, breathe out. Awesome. Let's try the other side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, scorpion dog. Bend your knee, open up that top hip. And again, take those little funky movements. Maybe roll the ankle, maybe circle your knee in one or both directions. Then inhale, level off your hips, three-legged dog. Exhale, carefully step through low lunge. But rise up on your breath, push away from the ground and find your crescent lunge. So again, feel free to pit stop at the hips. Bend your back knee as much as you need to. What a nice neutral pelvis here. If and when you're ready, arms up by your sides. Gather in through the front ribs and continue to trust the strength of your front leg. Breathe in. Exhale for that flying crescent. Now I want you to take your back leg super straight, super strong, and get as high as you can onto the ball mound of your back foot. Imagine your body like an arrow from your heel through the crown of your head. Squeeze towards that center line. Draw your navel up and in. Good. Now enjoy this dance of a movement. Inhale, reverse warrior. So you're going to cartwheel, right arm up and open. Stay committed to your lunge. Lift up and out of your waist. Good. Just take a moment to enjoy. Right? You continue to sink into your front lunge. The knife edge of your back foot is an anchor point, just like it was in modified side plank. Find that uplift out of your waist and then enjoy that side body opening. Big breath in. Exhale for your side angle. Find the hinge and then arms to approximately 6 and 12. It's not perfection, but feel the integration of your shoulders onto your back. There's almost a subtle sense of leaning back. Right? Find the solid foundation of your legs to support the expansion of your upper body. Doing great. Now inhale, big bright star, come on up. And here we go. You ready for round 2? Or squat, hands to heart. All right, so hips are a really common place to grip, to clench, to hold on to kind of outdated stories, patterns, grudges, etc. So we can work through some of that without having to analytically process it, right? You can just kind of notice what your body messages are. And then nurture yourself with your breath. You're safe. You're strong. Go a little deeper. You got it. Try to get your shoulders right up over your hips if you tend to lean forward. See again if you can find that little Uddiyana Bandha, the lift of your pelvic floor. Continue to blossom your heart open. Loosen up the grip of your toes. Breathe. See if you can go a little bit deeper. Final stretch. Last 3, play your edge. Last 2. You got inhale, big bright star, come on up and open. Exhale to your arms, turn your toes, and find your sweet descent. Wide forward fold. Do what you need here at the bottom. Feel free to customize your practice always, right? Yoga is about your sovereignty, working out what you need when you need it. I'm a guide. I give suggestion, but ultimately you know best. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge, crawl it forward. Now again, use your belly, try to pick up your foot rather than dragging it on the floor. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, and then gently bring your knees to the floor. Drop your hips to your heels. Hero's pose. Take a moment to ground down. Just notice what might have come up for you in our journey thus far. As you're ready, swing your hips to either side. Bring your legs out in front of you. Good. Now you're more than welcome to bring a bend to your knees. Right, your legs do not have to be straight. We're going to take a seated forward fold. Inhale, both arms high. Now think length, right? Think about that flying crescent as you weave your heart forward. Get as long as you can. Grab whatever you can. It doesn't have to necessarily be your toes. And then once you've found that full expression of length, maybe wiggle your hips back. Maybe soften a little further down, heart, thighs. Catch yourself. You start to drift into a random thought. Where am I? What am I doing? Breathe and feel. Over and over again. That's the practice. And carefully begin to pull your heart up over your hips. Good. Scoot forward if you need to, and then start to descend onto your back. Lower down with as much control as you can muster. Awesome. Hug your knees into your chest. Take some little circles clockwise. Massage out your low back. And then counterclockwise. Move into a happy baby. Split your knees wide. Grab for anything that will enable you to keep your tail connected to the floor. So you don't have to grab your feet. Sometimes when you grab your feet, your booty flies up in the sky. We don't want that. We want the tail anchored down, your spine heavy into the floor. Sometimes it feels good to roll around to the ankles. And maybe sway from side to side. And as you're ready, gather your knees in towards center. Good. Let's take a nice easy twist. So let your feet fall to the floor. Nudge your hips a little bit over to the right. And then let both knees fall to the left. Stack your hips. You can either tee out your arms or make a little goalpost. You can look up, or if it's okay on your neck, you can look over your right shoulder. Rinsing out and releasing. Anything you prefer not to carry into the rest of the day with you. Carefully inhale back through center, knees to the sky. Bump your hips to neutral. And then maybe offset hips to the left, knees to the right. Your final twist. And feel free to squirm yourself into your sweet spot. Gaze up or over your left shoulder. A loving reminder that you are not your thoughts. You choose which thoughts you feed energy to, which thoughts bring you closer to your intention, to your purpose, and to your truth. Carefully rewind. Bump your hips back to neutral one last time. And this time you're gonna bring your knees to your chest and take a big wrap of your arms around your legs. Squeeze as tight as you can into a little ball. Chin to chest, forehead to knees, and thank yourself for taking time to move inward. Breathe in, maybe kiss your knees, tell yourself, I love you, I got you. And then we'll settle in for Shavasana. This is the pose that we practice for, right? The surrender. Scurry your shoulders under you. Once again, allow your heart to be the highest point of your body. Let your eyes closed. Let your tongue drop from the roof of your mouth. Invite as much of your body as physically possible to heavy down into the floor. Invite your mind to relinquish any gripping, any yearning to analyze and judge. And invite your spirit to be light. See if you can peel back one more layer. Find an area of your body to soften, a corner of your mind to relax. For those of you that feel compelled to stay, you have a very genuine invitation. Tune me out and enjoy your space. You're ready to greet the rest of your day. Keep your body nice and calm and just carefully reclaim your breath. And then as tenderly as possible, invite movement back into your body, whatever feels right for you. And eventually we'll come full circle and begin to maneuver upright to a seat. Take your time and do your best to keep your eyes closed. And if something along the way feels really nourishing and delightful, you can pause there and enjoy it for a few rounds of breath. We don't want to move quickly at this point. We want to take it slow and maintain this inward gaze that's been cultivated. If and when you get upright, just tune in once again. Notice any shift that might have occurred. Invite your hands to your heart one last time. Honor every single moment, every small victory that you've accomplished in our time together of pure presence. And challenge yourself to take that intention with you. Next time you're engaged in conversation, can you listen with your whole heart, with all of your attention, instead of waiting to give your response? When you're washing dishes, can you enjoy the feeling of the soap in the water? You're interacting with your kids. Can you be there fully? Whatever it is that you encounter, how can you show up completely? Exhale all of your breath out. Take a long, deep inhale. Hold at the top and take another sip. Big open mouth. Exhale. And seal in our time together, honoring the love and the light that resides within each of us. With deep gratitude, we seal in our time. Namaste. Thank you for coming along with me. I am so enjoying diving into your home with you and working through what it is that's coming up for you. So please feel free to reach out to let me know if there's postures or body parts, meditations, and there's going to be all kinds of upcoming fun adventures. So feel free to subscribe on www.alanamichelle.com, invite your friends, and let's do this important work together. Have a wonderful day.